heard with Joyce Bronson, and to my left,
Dixie. I'm the intake. That's you.
Dixie, what are you now?
Oh God. The medication coordinator and drug test coordinator here at Mission
Awesome.
Foundation.
And to the right,
I'm Jillian, and I'm the director of female programs.
and I'm Joyce Bronson, the intake coordinator for the McShane Foundation. We got it right. So you guys are probably used to seeing me and Dixie now. We've been here. This is our third one.
Yeah.
But this is who we've always spoke about, Jillian. She is the biggest person in my recovery. How
Mine
about
as well.
yours?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Aww.
She's so freaking awesome.
We're going to make her cry.
I know.
No,
we're
not.
pushing for it. So if we can make Jill cry today.
That's our accomplishment. That's our goal.
Not today.
So Jill, what information do you have? What do you think that you are coming in, and how have you gotten over 3 years, 4 years? No, 4 years now, right?
4.
Gosh, 4 years.
One is staying connected is the most important part. And being able to, do the job today because I have experience, because, I came in 2017, stayed in the program house. And then when I left the program house, I volunteered for McShane for over 6 months. And, the biggest thing for me was staying connected.
Staying connected to everyone and continue to be involved.
Absolutely.
If you had to volunteer, whatever, just to stay involved.
Just anything. I knew something was working. I just didn't know what it was.
Well, I'm glad that you finally found it. What about you, Miss Dixie? To the left.
To the left.
To the left.
Me also staying connected. That's been like a major thing for me. Having like a solid network of women and throughout this whole journey and this process. And then even when I moved out of housing, I was up here every week, at least once a week. And I just stayed around. I just was always hanging in somebody's office doing something.
Yeah, you did. You definitely stood, connected like me. I just never left. And just like Jill, Jill, she stood around and it worked for her and it worked for me also. Just never leaving and also just living right around the street. Also, I think really important about for me, I mean, everyone's different. But for my recovery too, is always have a game plan. I was telling you a little bit before, I leave for vacation. So you guys will not see me next Wednesday. Tuesday is my last day for a week. And I'm going to Florida for a week. So, it's the hot weather, the tropical area type sort of thing. And I'm an alcoholic. So, that's when people think about the margaritas and stuff. And so I've had to develop a game plan for when I go. I'm actually, even though I'm 2 years sober, I've decided to, reach out to my doctor to get a prescription for naltrexone just to protect myself. So, Jill, what do you think, when you just recently had a baby, aren't you? Woo-hoo. So, after babies, sometimes we have situations where you may need pain medication or something.
Yeah,
what was your
I've
game
had
plan?
multiple, a couple of times now where I've had some type of medical surgery, or when I was pregnant, I had a severe migraine that wouldn't go away, and I was prescribed narcotics. And the biggest thing, even when I had my surgery, I only had I was almost at a year. Was to have that game plan. And what that looked like for me was to be honest with my doctor that I was in recovery, for my doctor to have communication with other doctors that was also going to be overlooking at me for a while. And then also for them to, when they prescribe me the medication, to have somebody hold the medications for me and, dispense them to me as needed. Fast forward 4 years, when I had the baby, they actually, when I had Georgia, they did not prescribe. They don't prescribe you narcotics anymore when you have the baby.
Really?
Oh.
No, they do not. Ibuprofen, which works great.
Yeah.
But right before I had her, I had a severe migraine, and they prescribed me some narcotics. And what I did is I came home, I filled the prescription, and I made sure I told my sponsor, my network, and everybody else, even my work, hey, look, just letting you know, here's my paperwork. The biggest key of being in recovery is telling on your disease. Because if I don't do that, I'm giving room for my head to start manipulating myself into all right, game on. This is what I'm going to do next. Well, they won't know, or you know what I mean?
And I can get away with it.
Yeah, absolutely. So the biggest thing is to tell on my disease and to make sure that you have a game plan in place. Like, I think it's amazing that you're going to Florida. It's your very first vacation in over 2 years. Yes,
first vacation in recovery.
Yes, and so I'm super excited for you to experience a good time sober. I have been able to go to Belize the last couple of years, and that was my first time ever experiencing vacation.
Yeah, Jill,
in recovery.
Dixie was talking about when she first came here, you went to Belize and she was like straight hating on you.
Yeah.
What about that?
I was hating on myself. What you talking about, girl?
I was like, how is she an addict and she's going to Belize?
Yes, because I was not spending my money on drugs. And and when I went there, it was a kind of shell shock at first, because when you go to somewhere like that, you see all these people laying on the beach just drinking. To be honest with you, a lot of things are legal there, so they come right on up and offer it to you. And it was like a whole nother gratitude to look at me like, no, thank you, no, thank you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And just got to experience mentally and physically being there and present, and just soaking up the sun, enjoying life.
Right. Not making a butt of ourselves.
No, not being sloppy dragon. Yeah. And for those who know me, that was my nickname back in the day. And not being able to remember anything and passing out and not having a hangover next morning, not enjoying, just not being able
or just being worried about what videos.
Well, shoot, I never got to go on vacation when I was.
Yeah, my whole thing is like, just what video did y'all take last night? So now that's what I'm kind of looking forward to, and looking forward just to actually be able to be present and not, going, doing the park with my children who are grown men, but I keep calling them kids, guys. Going to the park with them and not having to go over to the bar or like, hey, y'all go here and I'll be here,
Trying to make a way.
Yeah, I got to make a way. So
absolutely.
So that's something I'm actually definitely looking forward to. What is your game plan? Like, when you have a situation, we haven't got to you yet. Like, like for her was a situation where she held herself accountable. Mine was going to the beach. What situation have you had that you had to try to do something to hold yourself accountable?
So, my birthday a couple years ago, I had like 6-7 months clean at the time, and my grandpa has a boat, and where I'm from, he was like, you have to come down, we have to go on the boat, like bring some friends for your birthday or whatever. So like I brought a couple of friends, and then I brought a couple of friends with like a few years clean with me, because my family likes to drink.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
So I brought them with me, and right before we went out for my birthday, I went down there by myself, and my grandpa was going to the store across the street to load up his cooler. And he was like, what kind of beer do you want? And I was like, I don't drink. And he was like, you can't even drink? And I'm like, no. He was like, well, what do I get you? And I was like, just give me a case of Red Bull and I'll shotgun those. Like, how about that? Like, so I did that, but I always took people with me. And then, I went to Florida in September, and that was my first vacation. And like my family down there, they drink like fish. And, it was weird for me because like, they would drink and want to sing karaoke and play cornhole, and they'd be so screwed up. And it was like, I just like stayed in the house whenever we weren't doing anything and just watched TV, and they would try to get me to be social. And they didn't really understand that I didn't drink alcohol either. So, but luckily my boyfriend came with me, and my mom's very supportive. So my mom wouldn't let that go down anyways. And, I was able to I took my kid to Disney World. So it was like nice to be clean and sober and be able to have those memories and remember them, So that's what I always do. I always take people with me.
Yeah, that's a good way.
Get in the car.
That's definitely a good way, I think. It's just, that's just like Jill says, to, tell on ourselves, tell on our disease. Absolutely. It's always something that could happen. And, what people don't realize is something we always have to work on. Like, even you 4 years, me 2. My 2 years is nothing, though, compared to people I know. Like 4 here, 30 there.
It's something.
But, we do. It's something that we have to work on every day. And, I hear a lot, we have an issue when we have a lot of individuals that go through our 28-day program, and then they think after 28 days they're quote unquote cured, and they can go home and do whatever they want again. And it's kind of defeating the purpose. We recently had someone that went home and relapsed and had a situation, and all they had to do was just stay a little longer. Just keep yourself plugged in.
Well, I think it's very important too, is like I said, the connection is when you go anywhere. So it can be McShin, it could be anywhere. When you go anywhere, it's what you put into it is what you're going to get out of it.
Absolutely.
Your mindset is one thing. When I came to McShin, I didn't know anything about recovery, and I had no idea what Recovery Foundation meant. But I also, at the same time, had been to rehab, so I had somewhat of a little idea, but they didn't teach me about recovery, right? So being here for the first couple of weeks, I was detoxing. It was rough. I didn't want to be here. I tried leaving. I didn't get far. I never get far. And it was within, after about 3.5 weeks of being here, of telling myself, all right, you know what I'm doing ain't working, right? Because I keep landing into institutions. What am I going to do? And I just sat still for a second. For once, I stopped talking and I started listening to what people were telling me, which were suggestions. They were just suggestions. Hey, stay a little bit longer. Hey, get a sponsor. At first, I was like, I'm not doing any of that. I'm not like you people. I'm glad it works for you.
How many times we hear that? I'm not like that.
And it's one of those things where, it's like, all right, let me just try it. Something's working. I haven't used it in a couple of weeks. Let me try it. And, leaving here, like I said, or leaving rehab, or leaving, just having a game plan and sticking to it. So we can write down anything we want to. Or we're going to go to meetings, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do that. And, the reality of it was sticking to it. And staying connected. Like I said, when I left, I found myself sitting on a couch. He went to work. The child went to the babysitters, and I had spare time. Right,
going right back to the same.
And immediately my disease kicked in. So I made a phone call to the director of female programs at the time, and said, "What do I do?" She said, "Come up here."
Yeah,
and I did.
I'm glad that you made that phone call.
And that's one of the biggest things is your mindset one. We all come into recovery or wherever we're going, and we're just confused, we're lost, we're tired. I know I was tired. I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I wanted help, but I didn't know how to get help. So absolutely. And take it one day at a time, Nathan.
I see it.
Yeah, definitely. One day at a time. And that was another thing, is thinking too far ahead overwhelmed me.
Oh my gosh.
That overwhelmed me. So I gave myself little goals. After my 28 days, I said I'll stay an extra week. I stayed an extra week, and then the extra week after that, and then I think it was like half a week after that. And then I was like, I'm gonna go home. And I gave myself little goals. Yeah,
that's what I said when I came here. I just came here just to shut everybody up, and then I came down here, and then I got your fake hug, and then
it was not fake.
It was, and I'm not going to talk about Dixie.
Let's leave that where it's at.
When Dixie left me,
remember
Dixie left me in the parking lot by myself when I had, back then we couldn't walk unless you had someone over 30 days, and she left me in the parking lot.
I don't remember the fake hug.
Oh,
she said I think she's making this up. She might be.
Oh, yeah.
Looks like you got some resentment you need to work on.
So let's read some of the comments here. We've got honesty. You ladies rule. Thanks, honesty, but you rule more. Jordan Stanley. Hello, ladies. You all are doing a great job, and you guys are awesome.
I love you, Jordan.
Jordan, you're awesome too. Nathan, y'all rock. Not as much as you, Nathan. And
Nathan, you rock.
Only one day at a time.
That's
and that
right.
really is, honestly, one day at a time is, just like Joe said, is the most important thing. We can't worry about what next week it'll be. Resentment. I think they have resentments. But
we get to, and now that all of us came through McShin, and look at us now, all sitting together. We have a great relationship. Not only friends, but we're co-workers, and we get to do this together. And we're like on this path together.
Absolutely.
Which is really important.
It is. It's so neat, though. That's what I was saying. I never would have thought this on my first day here. You know, I mean, you, like me and Dixie both said, like, you were a big person in our. And sometimes I would try to get away with you. You called me on my shit.
Always calls us on my shit.
Remember, I used to always want to
cussing.
I think I can. I don't know. As long as we don't say the
You
F
said
word.
whatever.
So anyway, I remember like me always trying to go home, but then I learned that I couldn't come to you before 2 to go home early, or you would say no. So then you got to catch you when you're around a whole lot of people and you're busy.
Yeah.
I just learned a lot about Jill back then.
Let's just tell everybody.
Yeah. Well, they don't know because they're not held like we were.
Mm-hmm.
Remember when you used to fall, when we used to have to go to taps? And I remember
we were
once,
talking about this today in the car ride, like how we used to have mandatory meetings every day, like specific ones us women had to go to. And Taps was one, and she was telling about how you followed her out the meeting.
Me and Bethany. Remember me and Bethany tried to be slick, and you drove right behind her.
I sure did. Walk right up to the car. Where are you going? Because we don't cut corners in recovery.
No, but that, honestly, I have to thank her so much for, because really that's what kept keeping me straight and narrow. You know what I mean? Like I needed that structure. I needed someone that would hold me accountable, and it wasn't like she was just trying to be mean and stuff. At first she's like, she's so mean, but that's like a kid with a teacher.
I'm not mean. It's just that I know. I know from experience, if somebody's not on top of me, right, I'm gonna manipulate my way through.
And that's me all the way. Like I would have never made 2 years if you didn't hold me accountable. Like I probably wouldn't even stood here. Someone asked me, so how long have you been McShin? I said, since April 2019. It's like, oh wow, it's April 2021. I didn't even realize it's been 2 years since I've been here.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Oh, that time flies.
It is, isn't it? Just 2 years ago, I was left in the parking lot. But so
this is wild.
I wish we had that. That little brain thing that y'all ever seen the Robinsons? Meet the Robinsons?
Yes.
That cartoon?
Yeah.
So you put the brain thing on, you can see the memories. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Fine. I'm over it.
We're not that old.
So what plan, like if we had someone who was getting ready to leave, like someone who's getting ready to leave, that they've been here for 6 months, what would be your biggest advice to them? I know we say stay connected and everything, but what else could someone put in their tool belt?
Wow, Joyce. You really like to make people think.
I know.
On the spot.
That's why I'm a host.
I mean, the reality of it is, if they've been here for 6 months, then I'm hoping in 6 months they have really built a foundation.
Yeah.
And that's, network of women.
Yeah.
If they're doing 12-step, whatever their pathway is, they have gotten grounded in that pathway. And so I would
yeah, I think definitely like the network thing, because I think the most important thing is, even after 6 months, is to be able to pick up the phone and call somebody.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, don't feel like
a
you
lot
can't.
of times when people are around for about 6 months, they have a good network.
Yeah.
And they're already, in that foundation where it's not as hard for them.
Mm-hmm.
So staying connected.
Yeah. I think staying connected is I think connection is the most important thing. I think that's why during the COVID situation, so many people found it so difficult to continue on the recovery, because a lot of people felt like they couldn't stay connected during that time.
Well, no, this past year has been extremely hard on a lot of people. I couldn't imagine coming into recovery and
everything shut down,
where everything is completely shut down, where the in-person meetings were not going on, because when I came in 4 years, it was a go to meeting. You get a sponsor, you do this, you do this, you do this. And that's in person, right? So I couldn't imagine coming into recovery this past year, not being able to go to meetings, in-person meetings, and having that in-person connection. And this past year was very, very hard, even with people with a lot of time.
Yeah.
I mean,
a lot of people.
This affected a lot of people. Me personally, very easily we get used to, routines. When that routine was broken, right? So Monday nights, I had a home group. I was there every Monday night, and then boom, COVID hit. That meeting shut down, right? So then I had all this extra time on my hands, and we won't go into in-person meetings. Zoom meetings were great, don't get me wrong, but it's not the same at first. It was really nice to actually go to Zoom meetings like across country and like really share where nobody's gonna know you. But the whole routine thing was completely messed up, and that's where you have to go back to the basics. Pick up the phone, call people. Are you okay? Is there anything I can do to help? This is where I'm at. This is how I'm feeling, and but we're getting back to normal. So
that's what I'm so excited about.
I don't know what normal is for an addict, but I know for me, it's just nice to go to in-person meetings. It's nice to get reconnected. I was out on maternity leave for a couple months, and you can ask anybody in this building. I was up here a week after my child was born.
She was trying to come back to work, by the way.
Yeah, I actually came in when she was like a week and a half and said, I just need to come back to work and do something. They're like, no, take your maternity leave. It was because my connection with people, here, and this is my safe place. This is where I knew to come, because I was feeling squirrely, just had all these hormones going everywhere, just had newborn, my life is changing. And so I came up here.
Isn't it crazy how this is our safe, like all of us is our safe place. And this is actually our job.
I tell people all the time, I would never imagine working somewhere where I love where I work. And what I mean by that is, when I wake up in the morning, I don't get upset that I have to come to work. Right. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
It's a great feeling. And being on maternity leave really opened my eyes of how grateful and blessed I am to work for an organization that's so supportive. And, had my back. And so, yeah.
Yeah, they, let's see some of the messages here. Brandy, she put, love you guys. Jill is the best. Joey, Jewel, y'all are the best. Joey, you are. Robert, y'all can read,
Yeah, our podcast viewed by women in jail. I believe so. Absolutely. They are. And we want to inspire women in jail, man. There is a life after that.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
And Brandy put that they are viewed by women in jail. I watched every one of them while she was in there. Okay. Yeah, we are in jails. We're in a lot of different jails. We're actually, me as an intake coordinator, I get calls from individuals who say, I just watched y'all's podcast.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah, it is. And then I've got an intake video, and everybody that comes in, like, I saw your video. And I'm like, oh. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to have to do it again because I feel like I'm popping out my shirt in that video. Oh, no. But it's all good. It's all good. But, yeah, so, we definitely want to inspire. All three of us have a different story, but at the end of the day, all our stories are still similar. Just someone who wants to be better.
Yeah.
And, mothers who want to do the best for our children.
And I want to give a shout out. Let me see if I can find. Hold on.
So we got to pause for Jill.
Yeah, please. Sorry.
Stop the whole world.
Woo-woo. So I think it's Into the Neighborhood. I believe it is. I want to give a shout out to them because, Into the Neighborhood. They donated all kinds of different size bras and underwear for women and feminine products and all kinds of things. So I want to say thank you so much for that. The girls definitely can use them. And we also got to go look through some of it too, and it was all new stuff. Loved it.
It was awesome. And they also the daily breads that they included in them was great as well. Because sometimes we don't get access to those, so that it's definitely something nice to pass around so the girls will have something to read in the evening. Patrick Jones says all three of you are an inspiration. Oh, not much as an inspiration as you are, Patrick Jones.
So this morning I gotta tell this real quick. Okay. So my problems today are not nearly as bad they were, and for a lot of us, right? And so I called Patrick this morning trying to set up, transportation for females, and I hit a curb. Well, actually, I hit a curb and a drain pipe or something. I don't know what it was, and I literally started crying on the phone with Patrick, and I said, I scratched my ribs. Okay, well, I didn't have that. You know what I mean? Like, I was just sitting here so upset. And then when I went to go get an estimate of how much it was going to cost, the guy said, well, he said, how's your day today other than this? And I said, you know what? It's good. It's great. Yeah. And I wanted to go in further, like, this is why it's great. But,
Yeah. That's why I said, like going back to it, like we, all three of us, this is, your safe place when you were gone, your safe place when you were on. And then when on weekends or when I have issues, even when I'm off, I'll end up somehow always bringing myself here, because this is our safe place. But it's weird because working in where I came from, working in corporate America, never would have showed up on my day off. Not one time. And on maternity leave, are you crazy? Yeah. I took 18 weeks for that.
Yeah.
I didn't take just the regular 6 weeks. I took the max, which they allowed 18 weeks because, and I remember numerous times, I even had a case because I had migraines all the time when I was working there. So I missed 2 days a week. Yeah, I could have, because of my drinking. I got a migraine. But, whatever. Hey, it is what it is. But I used to miss time all the time, and it's a difference now. It's, I'm actually really nervous to be off for that amount of time next week.
I know, I'm excited for you.
I am, but it's just going to be really weird. It's going to be really weird.
Why?
I don't know.
Enjoy it. Soak it up and enjoy it. Spend time with your boys.
I will.
Dixie, you're really quiet today.
My face is on fire.
It looks really rosy.
Really red.
It literally feels like I'm burning up.
Oh, poor thing.
My cheeks are just so...
Maybe it's because you're so hot.
Oh, gosh. But I was sitting here thinking, when they were talking about the jail, how the videos are in jail, that's amazing because any jail I've ever been to, that's not a thing.
Yeah. And
where I'm from, they don't offer you anything other than jail time. You might go to CCAP if you're really lucky and wait on them for a long time, but don't get bonded to any type of program or anything like that. So it's really cool that, these videos are in jail because before I came here, like I said, I always went to jail and I never knew anything about recovery, period. Right. Yeah. Because a lot of jails don't offer this opportunity. So it's amazing because a lot of women probably watching this and men don't know anything about recovery until they see these videos. Yeah. And then it kind of gives them an idea of what to do when they get out, Yeah.
Well, we're here.
Yeah, we're absolutely here. I mean, we get people, and I didn't know how far it stretches, but I've had individuals come from South Carolina. Oh, wow. Florida called me, so it's not that it's just in Virginia jails. They're North Carolina, South Carolina, Florida. Had someone earlier today call me from Massachusetts. So, I mean, the internet's awesome. I mean, you can do it, but the main thing I think is the awareness of recovery. Yeah. Because honestly, when I started recovery, when I started to get clean, I should say, it won't even recovery till I got to McShin, but it was I thought it was detoxing and you're done. Detoxing, you're done. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was cured the first time.
I went to detox 4 times and I'm like, oh, right. Yeah. So I can drink now, but I can only drink, I can drink half of what I used to. Right. That was my recovery. That's what I thought it was. But then I somehow, after the second day, I went back to what I was at before.
People, places, and things.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was my main thing is, and that's crazy because we were talking about this last week, how I was talking to Breslin because he knew me from when I was in rehab in Portsmouth. And he was like, you look how far you come. And he's like, and it's crazy because you're the only one out of your group that is still sober today. And it's because, when you talk to these people, they just want to go right back home. They don't have a game plan. They think 28 days and I'm just going to go home. But you got to have a game plan. You got to keep following up with it. Yeah. And so you got to, have follow-up care.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very important.
Yeah, when I left, I still took my naltrexone for a few months. Yeah. When I moved out of recovery housing. And then...
what an amazing drug that is.
It is.
For sure.
They're trying naltrexone.
Yeah.
I am so
One of my friends recently just got on it and she got back. She was at my house. She left to go get it. She got back and she was like, I'm just so proud of myself for even getting this. And I'm like, dude, yeah.
That's a big thing.
And then some things happened and a couple of days later, she's like, it's weird. I haven't even thought about getting high. And I was like, isn't that
that's
awesome?
What freaking
I was like, that's what it does. And she's like, it's crazy. She's like, I can't even I've tried, but I can't even process that. And I'm like, that's good. That's good. Yeah. That's good. It's doing its job.
That's why I always promote it. I'm never going to tell someone about something that I haven't done myself, and I was on it for 11 months, the Vivitrol shot, I just felt and honestly, I probably would have still been on it today if COVID hadn't hit and they stopped giving me the shot, but I was on it for 11 months.
That just sounds dangerous.
Yeah. What?
Just how they stopped.
Yeah,
they did though. And that's why
when we need it the most. Yeah.
Hello. Well, they did tell me that I could have gone did the naltrexone pills, but see, someone like me or someone who is kind of iffy on it, like like someone that's just using, or like your friend or whatever, like, all right, we can take the pill, and then we just stop taking the pill tomorrow. And
that's one of the reasons. So like when I got on it, at the time I had like liver issues. So they were like, we're going to put you on the pill first, see how your liver reacts to it, and then give you the shot after we assess. But I never went back. I was just like, I'm just going to take the pills, like, cause I don't like going to the doctor, to be honest. And,
but we know.
So, I did the pill, and then after taking it for a while, I was like, listen, I've been taking this either like, because I've only taken the pill, either I'm gonna get high or I'm not, and I feel okay, but I still have my prescription just in case I need it. I was like, I'm gonna keep this just in case I feel like I need to take it. And that's just what I did.
Exactly. And and it's so amazing that now Vivitrol naltrexone covers the alcoholism and the heroin, use. It's two different things, but it's like those two have like the main urges for those, individuals have the actual cravings for it. And the way that it curbs the cravings is just amazing.
Yeah.
So that's how that is great.
Yeah.
And so when are you getting your tire fixed?
I don't know. I don't know. We think we might spray paint it black.
What was it, like $900?
Yeah, it's a crazy amount.
But what's so crazy is that it's that $900
even in
today.
Recovery, I don't know.
Even though you're in recovery, though, but you may have the capability of fixing it had you really wanted to.
Yeah,
because you've got bank.
No, absolutely do not.
Yeah, so
but like you said, it's great that those are these are the problems that we have to deal with.
Like trying to get up on time, get the baby fed, dressed, the 1 5-year-old dressed, out the house on time. I don't have to get up and worry about
how you're gonna get the next one.
How am I gonna get the next one before I need to get because God forbid, if it was now, I'll be doing it the same way, just like before. My first week here at McShane, I lost custody of my first child. And that was extremely hard and eye-opening for me. And to be where I'm at for almost 4.5 years later, and being able to be a mother to another child now, experience all these things that are to come with her. I'm super excited. They're absolutely precious, and they deserve to have a mom.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And I'm excited to be there mentally and physically for them. And like, if you know anybody that's a parent that is struggling, like, just know that there is hope and it's possible. Being a first week coming into recovery, I was detoxing. I felt like crap. I didn't want to be here. Being in front of a judge and having a lawyer demolish me, which I couldn't blame her. I was doing all the things she said I was doing. And the reality of it was, that was just like, that was my motivation, man, to keep going. And I'm glad I did, because now I got another beautiful daughter, Georgia.
She's J.
Cute.
And they're so lucky to have you too, because their mama loves them so much.
So today, just the school called me about an hour or so ago, and they said, well, your daughter bumped her head and she has a little scratch on her arm, but she's really upset. Okay, well, if anybody knows me, knows my daughter JC, and she's very dramatic like me. And she's just like me. And so she said, well, she wants to talk to you. And I said, okay. So they put her on the phone. I couldn't help but to laugh. She's so cute. Then she was like, yeah. I said, are you okay? She goes, Mom, it hurts so bad. And I said, well, it's just a scratch, honey. And she was like, but it hurts. I said, you're going to be okay. Just hang in there. And that I really went to hang up the phone and go get her just to go get her. I said, no, I'm not going to do that. Because then she'll expect that every time she falls. And I don't want that. But, it's so nice for them to call me.
Yeah, to be able to get you. And for you to actually care. Because, I know when I was drinking, I got phone calls. I didn't even care about going in and doing whatever I had to do. Yeah, it's the freedom that we have now, like me waking up, and that's what I tell everyone when I say I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for them not having my shakes that I have in the morning, that sickness that I used to have every morning waking up. I had to have one drink, and people was like, "Don't you just leave one drink for the morning?" I was like, "I don't know what kind of alcohol you are, but I'm gonna drink every freaking thing in the car, in the house, or in the car, whatever." So Tracy's sent messages. Joyce, Jill, we love you too, Tracy.
Oh, Tracy.
Tracy.
I'll tell you about some Tracy.
Uh-oh,
Talk
Tracy.
about alumni from McShun.
Alumni number one.
Yeah, so Tracy, we love you very much. She always buys my kids too much stuff.
Mm-hmm.
All I'm gonna say.
She is the sweetest ever.
But I love every minute of it.
Yeah,
Thank you.
She buys the cutest little outfits.
Yeah,
I don't know where she finds these things at, but they're so cute.
They are.
She loves to shop. And then she goes all over the places. I mean, she was always so good in the houses as far as taking all the girls with her to the beach, man. They went to the beach every week. Somebody was going to the beach. Remember when we took that beach trip when we took the girls' beach?
I remember. Just this past, I think it was like May.
Yeah.
May or June. We went all the way. It was so crazy. We went all the way to, what was it? Colonial Beach.
Yeah.
And it was cloudy.
Yeah, overcast and stuff.
It was cold. And literally 15 minutes up the road to Jamestown Beach, sunny, beautiful. It was
we went that way.
Yeah.
So we went to one beach and then we're like, oh no, and then we drove to the other one. It was a good time though. I really enjoyed connecting with a lot of girls.
Well, and that's another thing too is like fun and recovery. Bottom line. And so that's when we do things with the girls here. I like to do things with them only for the fact that, they get to experience some of it. It's the first time, doing things without the use of drugs and alcohol. And for me, it's so amazing to say, hey, come on, let's go do this. Let's go to the beach. Let's go do this, do outings, go to the park, whatever it is, just so they can,
Yeah. And then also that they can actually go with some, positive females that they probably, a lot of times females a lot. I don't know how y'all were, but when I came into recovery, I had some reservations about females. Me and them just did not click. And, and I always thought, somebody was out to get it. But like you, Jill, you're always a very sincere person. I mean, you could never lie because your face told everything.
I know.
She's got these faces that's like, so if you tell her something that she doesn't believe and she's like, that face, then something's going on. But but it's like, Jill's like a real person though. Like, what she says is true. She's not going to just be saying something to sugarcoat it because she doesn't sugarcoat anything.
Not at all.
That's probably why she doesn't make cookies.
The disease don't need to be sugarcoated.
And then, like me, I'm going to tell you like it is. I might say it in a nicer way than Jill would. No. But I do tell you like it is. But it's definitely, if we say something, we don't say something that hurts someone. We just want you to know, hey, this is what it is. And I mean, at the end of the day, we want you to hold yourself accountable.
Thanks, John.
What did John write? I can't read it.
You can't?
No, my eyes hurt.
You three are an inspiration, me included, with over 17 years clean. You guys rock.
Awesome. Yeah. 17 years. That is fantabulous.
That is a long time. That's awesome.
That is. In 17 years, I'll be 37. So I can't wait till that happens.
Oh, get out of here.
I'm over it.
Well.
So what's the next topic, ladies?
Well, we just talk and jazz and, because we're three black taggers here, I got my black tag now.
If you don't stop hitting your mic.
Whatever. So we're not going to start arguing our last few minutes. We were arguing all before we even started. So
I know. You know why? Because my disease tells me, and this is why, when they ask me to do the podcast, it's always, oh, come on, Jill, let's do the podcast. And I'm like, no, I'm too busy. I don't want to. And in my head, I like work myself up saying, we don't have nothing to, I don't want to. I don't like being in front of the camera, And then when I actually do it,
you do so good.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
You do.
But that's it's just a good example of like me fighting myself.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you have a lot to share and a lot of insight. I mean, honestly, you have a lot. You are so much information in one person, and you can tell me what not to do.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that. Absolutely.
She can help you with anything except what to get for lunch.
Yeah,
We're not going to talk about
yeah,
that.
that's just not
I
a
just
thing.
don't like to pick places.
I know,
That's
but
all.
then she's the type when you pick a place.
She'd be like,
Well, I don't know. Like,
I don't
what
know
is
about
that? Why is there no pictures? And
I like to see pictures of my food. And then I choked today on my
Yeah,
Tuesday.
she choked.
Nuh-uh.
Yes. And I
I
tried
know I really did. I didn't think I was gonna make it there for a minute.
Oh, poor
It was
thing.
bad.
It was really bad.
I'm so glad I wasn't
It was
there.
pretty funny though.
Yeah.
I need to learn the Heimlich maneuver because I thought I was going to do it. And
And then you were going to do it wrong?
The what?
How'd you
Say it again.
Say it.
Did I say it wrong?
Heimlich?
No.
No.
the Heimlich, what is it called?
There you go. You got it.
Heimlich.
That's it.
What's the end of it? Is it just a Heimlich? I mean,
Oh
Poor
goodness, I
things.
love each and every one so much.
It's funny that we can laugh at each other today. I think if this had been me 3 years ago, I'd have been like, so what you trying to say?
yeah,
You know?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
My
you laughing at
attitude-
it.
my attitude would have been completely
Bad.
different.
bad.
Mhm. Yep.
So we enjoy this.
Yeah.
And what is honesty saying to us as moms?
How's moms? How do you incorporate recovery into parenting your children?
Well, let's ask Jill because
Come on
she
now.
takes JC knows everything when you go to meetings.
Well, my
So,
child
like,
knows
yes.
the Serenity Prayer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember when I was when she was talking about the mothers
She's 5.
meeting. Yeah, she would JC used to be like the main person in the meeting. You know what I mean? Everybody
Mhm.
would remember her.
Well, yeah. Well,
Heimlich maneuver. That's it.
I don't
The
think there's a
Heimlich.
lick.
How you
There's no
say
lick in it.
Heimlich.
where are you from? Danville, Virginia?
I'm not from Danville.
Danville.
Mecklenburg County.
Mecklenburg.
Isn't that where Greensville Correctional Institute is?
No,
Oh.
but not far.
No, but honestly, I'm glad you asked that question. I mean, really incorporate recovery into parenting. Patience with my kids.
Mhm.
Number one. Recovery has taught me a lot, so I try to instill that, today with them. JC did come to the meetings with me since she was a year and a half.
Yeah.
Every day, and yes, she does know the Serenity Prayer. And just what I learned, I just try to pretty much make sure they know it too.
Yeah, she knows what
People
to
ask, I tell.
Yeah, you don't hide it.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Mhm.
With me, I think, with grown children, my main thing is for myself, like for me not to fly off the handle or for me to find a way for me to, deal with the anger that I get. I deal with a lot with my youngest son sometimes. And I found that, that's when I started finding out that I need to get away and kind of work on me a little bit, and then I come back. Like,
And you've been working out.
Yeah, the gym is really a big thing for me now.
Mhm.
I need to
Y'all
learn
see
how
the
to do that.
guns, right?
Mhm.
Woo, 3 weeks. Whoa. So anyway, yeah, I'm strong. But anyway, I go to the gym, and actually, when we had a situation over the weekend, I was so mad, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go smoke a cigarette because I quit smoking back in
I was
October.
gonna say, do you even smoke?
No.
I did back in October, and I quit, after October. And but I said I was gonna go smoke a cigarette. But I said, you know what? Let me go to the gym first, and then if I still want to smoke, I'll do it.
Mhm.
But I didn't. It
Yeah,
was like
you use the tools.
Yeah, I used the tool. So that's a great example of tools. I use my lungs to the productive ways, not the bad ways.
Jill's been after me about smoking cigarettes.
No,
Yes, because you come into recovery. That's our main thing is cigarettes and
Yeah,
energy
you got to
drinks.
get there. Yeah,
Yeah, you'll get there eventually. I'm grateful that I did get to a place.
Yeah,
and I quit smoking. It'll be 2 years in August.
yeah.
It's
crazy.
And I never thought. But anyways, riding with Dixie the other day.
Oh,
my
God.
She just got a brand new car and she smokes in her car.
I mean, what do you want from me?
You shouldn't smoke it.
That's actually why I quit
But that's
smoking
the
because of the
only
ashes.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I'm gonna clean my car. But the only time I ever smoked, this is the only reason. Like, okay, there's many other reasons why I think I should quit smoking, but like, I realized now I'm only smoking cigarettes when I'm in the car, and it's something that I hate riding with other people when I can't smoke a cigarette. Thank God I have a vape, but it's like that's the only time I feel necessary, or when I'm mad, when I feel necessary to smoke a cigarette is when I'm in the car, and I don't know why.
No, it's a thing.
It's a habit.
Yeah.
You got to break it.
I don't like, but I mean, I don't smoke in my house. That's a big no-no. I don't go outside to smoke when I'm at home. I don't smoke when I'm at the house. I only smoke when
you're driving somewhere.
I'm driving.
And see, that's the part where that's how I was at first. And I kind of quit, like sort of similar to Jillian, because when Jillian, I remember when she used to smoke Newports, because I would be like, let me get a Newport. But then she's like, oh no, I just vape now. And but that only lasted like a week. Yeah, she bought a whole pretty vape and everything, but it only lasted like a week. And then she stopped. And then so like when I actually quit smoking, I had put a date. I'm like, all right, October 19th, I'm going to quit because my birthday is October 20th. And I said, but I'm just going to vape, because I'm tired of the ashes. So I quit. I stopped my last cigarette on October 19th, and I got a vape just like Jill did. But within a week, I'm like, oh, vape. So, you know what I mean?
Because you have to start walk outside to hit it.
Yeah. So I'm like, it was no point. So I kind of just stopped doing that, and it worked. And I was like, wow, just like that's crazy. You did the same way I did it. I was like, I know.
I always said I wasn't gonna vape. When I came into recovery, I noticed everybody drank energy drinks, everybody chewed gum, and everybody had a freaking vape. And I was like, I'm never gonna be those people. And then a few months into it, I chew gum going like
you are those people.
And now I'm literally those people. I never vaped. I never drank energy drinks. That was never my thing. I think I tried a Monster like twice, and I immediately started drinking Red Bull like it was freaking water. And then I chew gum like it's going out of style. So I've slowly realized my first year clean, I did the math one summer of like how much money I was spending on Red Bull and cigarettes. And it was more than I was paying in rent.
Yeah.
And I was like,
get like
it
that.
was bad. And that was Red Bull was like the only thing I was drinking. And I was like, you know what? I'm cutting it back. And now, I mean, up until I started working here, because I'm not used to waking up early. So, and I don't drink coffee like talking about. So,
I love coffee.
Me too.
I like iced coffee. But now I'm buying Red Bull more. But I'm not buying a pack of cigarettes will last me like 3 days.
Yeah. So you're getting to that area that I think that we were at.
And even working here, like I don't even really go outside to smoke a cigarette, but maybe
it's a long walk.
It's a walk. It's a walk.
And then I only used to go to be nosy. So Mary Sykes, going back to the comments, what are some good recovery books for females seeking recovery besides 12-step material? Well, I'm gonna tell you, I mean, it's a good book to read. It's called Unbroken Brain, and it's actually a good way to kind of get an idea of where everybody the mindset is at. So it's not a recovery book, but it kind of gives you an insight.
I don't read much.
I don't either.
I knew it. That's why I answered for both of y'all.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm the reader. But yeah, I mean, just to kind of give, but there's a lot of videos that should be out there. Oh yeah, absolutely.
I'm trying to think. God, I can't think off the top of my head. Taylor said I need to practice patience because I have none.
Me too. I have none. I'm working on it.
Well, the one spiritual principle, is honesty that I work every day in my life.
You are honest.
A little too honest at times.
Thanks.
And and just honesty, patience, open-mindedness.
Yeah.
Just kind of,
When it comes to my
honesty said the healing was it?
The healing partner.
The healing partner. Is it Priscilla Zeno?
Is
a good one.
Yeah. So there we go. Honesty, she knows.
She's a good. She's a book reader.
Yeah. So we can go to her.
She's writing her own book.
So pretty soon you'll be able to read that one.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, but patience is also one.
All right, guys. So what? It's been I enjoy you guys.
Is it really that time?
Yeah, it's that time. And you were so nervous. Yes. So
no, it's not that I was nervous. I just was trying to convince myself.
Thank you
I'm so glad I did it because I loved it. And I love you girls.
Yes, we love y'all. Thank you and it's an end of Getting in the Herd. Bye.
Bye. Joy.
My name is Shannon Lance. I'm currently here in recovery at McShin Foundation. I got out of jail on January 10th, 2021, and while I was incarcerated there, my mother passed away due to COVID complications on December 14th. It was a really challenging event in my life. While I was incarcerated there, I watched the recovery videos and the podcast on the tablets there, that was made by the McShin Foundation. Getting to Heard podcast really made me feel like I was a part of something on the outside, because, there's people that are commenting and just seeing, people that I was incarcerated with on the videos, and just thinking, man, that's going to be me, before too long. And, I'm going to be sitting there in them rooms and, be able to be a part of the podcast and get in the Heard series. And, now I'm a part of the Heard here at McShin, and it's an amazing feeling, and it's nice having a fulfilled sense of hope in my life currently. And just to live one day at a time, and just to have positive feelings in my life and good relationships with, my family and friends is an amazing event.